You could probably have something in your head this way, and then the artist will hear it, and it just come to life way beyond what you have imagined. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember Neo talking about writing that song for Beyonce back in the day, and I mean, yeah, I would have never thought that Neo would write that song for her.
Yeah.
Like, and it was bonkers. Like, most people don't know that R. Kelly wrote Fortunate for Maxwell.
That's right.
Like
That's right.
But you don't think of R. Kelly with it. You just think of Maxwell's voice and his style. That's what I love about the songwriting game.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like you're a wizard of sorts. You have all this talent, and you can put the sauce where you want.
That's it.
You could place it here, you could go over here, or maybe I could do a collabo, boom, boom, boom. Creatively, how do you write for yourself?
I mean, I think it's easy for me because, I mean, I know me better than anybody.
Cool.
And so sonically, I can go to a place to say, all right, where are the voids in R&B? Where are the voids in the genre to say, damn, I wish I had this type of tempo when I listen to Spotify. So I'm really basing it off of gaps and spaces where, you know, what's needed. And so that's kind of how I'm motivated in songwriting or writing for myself.
And you're an independent artist. This is the new wave to me. And I feel like you actually need to be independent to have control of your destiny. Because you know, I've been doing this almost 30 years, being in the industry. I came up as a comic and then went into the music industry through MTV, right? So I learned it like kind of backwards. But back in the day, I'm coming up, let's say 25 years old. If I got a record deal, I'd be like, oh my God, like, oh my God. Like, I remember Jodeci, they told me they drove from North Carolina with $200 one way. We're not going back. They sang in every lobby until they got signed. That's the story. And then Andre, boom, 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 right? So now artists are smarter. Artists have access to their fans already. So now I feel like you guys have more leverage. You don't have to sit there and like get the worst deal ever or be like, please, just sign me, please. I'll give you 32 albums for $1. You know? So now with the internet and SoundCloud and Spotify and YouTube, you guys can do stuff that's never been done before. You can leak a song if you feel like on a Wednesday. Do you like that power, and how have you utilized it?
Oh man, I love it. I mean, but it's still new. You know what I mean? Because you know, I say this for major labels, they'll always be the fire. They're not the fire starter anymore. Right. But they'll put the gasoline on that thing.
And get it going.
You know what I'm saying?
We turn you up. Turn me up. Turn me up.
They'll turn your ass up in a second. However, you know, the greatest gift that we have, like you said, is social media, being able to connect with your fans, technology being at an all-time high in the sense of how we can maneuver, right? Okay. And then most importantly, understanding what you're worth. Right.
Facts.
So with my master, I was signed to a major label before being independent. So I had that experience to say I had a #1 R&B record with the major label. However, when certain opportunities would come about, they would just kind of disappear because they're like, oh, we already spent your budget. So I'm like, okay, well, what y'all spend it on? Right. How much is this record making? I got to look at the books, every 6 months? Then I got to hire an attorney to
every time.
There, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's taxing. So for me, going independent was the only way to go. Correct. Then understanding that there are no Percy Millers, there are no Brian Williams or AKA Birdman within the R&B space. It's all over the hip hop space. Correct. But when you think about all of the R&B heroes, they're all attached to major labels. And so now the Eric Bellingers of the world, the Kenyon Dixons of the world, the Brent Fryers of the world, and even myself, we're all independent artists paving a way for ourselves.
Yeah, man, it's groundbreaking, man. I speaking of hip hop, there's an artist that I love that I had a chance to interview on here called La Russell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's such a vibe. He's a cool kid, he's young, and he loved the culture, and it seems like he just embodies this new wave of all access to the fans. Yeah. And the fans love that shit, bro. Yeah. And I think that's wonderful for you because you're writing such good music, man. It's like I feel like you are Kenny Lattimore's little brother. I don't know if you know Kenny can sing his ass off.
Kenny can go.
He can go. Like I only gonna say singers because I know my music. I don't mess around. I know my music, and I've heard so much music. Like I feel like different guys and girls have this unique thing about them. But then there's certain people that like I feel like they could be a match, like it's tone or control, and you have all those things as well. You know what I mean? You got a great voice, but you could just do it. You can make it dance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How do you get better at singing? I always wanted to ask that question.
Man, make a whole bunch of mistakes. You know what I mean?
That didn't work. That didn't sound right.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta, for me, it's like being in the lab, just like a basketball player, putting up shots. You know what I mean? Or for a comedian going and doing their set over and over again in different cities until they get it mastered and get it right. To understand the timing of it. Same thing with vocals. It's like I gotta understand. All right, where do I place these notes? The tone, the intentionality of it. You know what I mean? When can I free up? Because you can't run through the whole thing. You can't hit high notes all through it. So you got to take people on a journey. And so that's trial and error. You know what I mean? Until you find the right tone and pace for you. You know what I mean? And develop that own vocal signature.
Yeah, like this new single, Sweet Release, man. It is, like I'll give you what I think it is. Sweet Release is like a song you ride with the top back.
Yeah,
it's just suave, it's smooth, and it makes you feel really good. Just the tone and the vibe of how the song goes on. And I was like, damn, this is a dope ass song. I played it like 3 or 4 times in a row. One. This was recently. I said, man, I just like this motherfucker song. I didn't even know you was coming on. Yeah. I just was like, yo, man, this shit hard body, bro. And then you did a remake of Prototype.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That's one of my joints right there, Prototype. Because that song, reason I loved Prototype was it's just the essence of what that woman means to you. Yeah, she has the blah 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 for you. That's the frame. Right. And what you did to it was, I was like, this bro right here. God damn. You like Steph Curry, you can hit a shot from anywhere.
Come on, man. Come on. You put up enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.